Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here today. Today I'm going to share how I kind of prep and plan for the holidays. They're coming. It's inevitable. So the way I kind of prep and plan, there's like 5 key things that I do leading up to it. Starting in January, and I know we're way past January, but I always review the budget that I had made the previous year to kind of gauge, is that enough money going into the next year? If I overspent what I budgeted. So I kind of figure that out ahead of time. And then I start planning throughout the year to put money aside so I'm prepared when that season comes and I'm not having to come out of my normal day-to-day budget. So for instance, last year, I budgeted a little bit more last year because I knew I had to replace a bunch of holiday decor. Sorry, my dog. I had to buy a lot of holiday decor that had gone bad, or light bulbs that had burned out, things like that. So I had budgeted more, but I didn't think I needed that this year because I didn't feel like I had to replace too much holiday decor. Don't get me wrong, I buy holiday decorations every year. Not a lot, but a few. But you know, when lights burn out and trees need to be replaced, when you have a fake tree, those things can add up quickly. So it's always good to plan ahead for that so you're prepared. This year, I think I set aside $500. Now for me, that covers if I do buy any decor, it covers gifts, it covers baking supplies, shipping costs if I have to mail gifts out, and then also any holiday meals that may be coming up with friends. Normally we don't do that for Christmas, we usually do it for Thanksgiving. However, this year it will be Christmas, so I had to plan ahead for that. Now, the second thing that I do is I start planning. Now, I start planning in like October-ish. For me, that is sitting down and writing out lists of who I need to do Christmas cards for, who I need to do gifts for, and I also try to think ahead, what cookies am I going to be baking for the season so I can plan which ingredients I do need to buy. So all of that stuff to this point, because this is November now, I've done all of that. I've even bought the ingredients for cookies. But I did plan that ahead so I knew what to expect. Now the third thing that I do is cards and decor. So like I said, I do buy some decor each year. For instance, this year there was a berry wreath that I've actually wanted for about 3 years. But every time the season came around, I was like, I'm not spending 30 bucks on a little berry wreath. If you've ever noticed it, they kind of jack prices up when we get to the holiday season, and so it gets more expensive. So this year I got smart, and in October actually I ordered that berry wreath off of Amazon, and it was 12 bucks, so much cheaper. So I went ahead and bought a few different things at that time. Now don't get me wrong, there may still be times when I have to replace other decor when we get closer and I actually pull out the decorations or I find something I do like. So that's something I would do ahead of time just to keep the pricing low if possible. The other thing is the cards. I always try to buy or order my cards in like September, October-ish. One, again, they're cheaper, and that way you're not paying astronomical dollars for cards that you're going to mail out to everyone. But along the lines with the cards, I always try to get them all filled out and addressed and everything done by Thanksgiving. I do this because you have a little more free time in the month of November. So by getting those done and stamped and ready to go, when we hit the Christmas season, all I got to do is drop them in the mailbox. Because that's one of those tedious tasks that do take a lot longer to do. So by doing it ahead of time, I don't feel as rushed to get them done. I can take my time, do a little bit here and there, but they're all ready to go when the season hits. Now, the next thing I do in November, which we're in November, so starting next weekend, I start baking Christmas cookies. Now, I always try to choose cookies that you can freeze because a lot of them you can. Once they're baked, you just throw them in the freezer. And then when you get to the season where you're ready to pull them out for holiday entertaining, you just pull them out of the freezer, let them sit for a little bit, and then everybody can enjoy them. So I always try to do that in November. This year for me, I'm doing like 3 different spritz style cookies, which definitely freeze well. And then for sugar cookies, I always do those as well and freeze them. Now, I don't decorate them until we get till December, but when you're ready to decorate them, I always pull them out like the day before so they have a chance to truly thaw out, so you're not messing with the royal icing when you decorate them. But getting that task, again, it's tedious, done and out of the way, it's in the freezer, it's already ready to go. And then the last thing I try to do, November up till probably December. I try to think ahead which gifts I'm getting for people. I try to order them ahead of time because, again, I feel like the holiday seasons, because it is a holiday season, they jack up the prices on things and then they tell you there's a sale when really you're probably still paying the normal price. But for me, especially, most of the gifts that I do purchase, I have to ship out to get to people, and by getting them ahead of time, I have plenty of time to wrap them, get them packaged, and then I can mail them out ahead of time. Because I don't like waiting till the last minute on something like that and then it not getting there on time. Because, you know, sometimes the mail service runs slower than normal because there's excessive amounts of shipping going on. But also, even with the Christmas cards, you want to mail them out early. I've had problems this last year where I mailed out birthday cards and people never even got them, or they showed up like 2 weeks later and I mailed them a week before their birthday. So I always try to make sure that stuff is done ahead of time. Gifts are bought, plenty of time to wrap. And also then you can get them under the tree and it just looks prettier and fuller under there. So again, I always do a budget in January so I know what to plan ahead of time. I always plan starting roughly in October, like my lists of things. Cards and decor, I try to start in October and then I try to have them done before Thanksgiving. Baking, I always start in November, and then the gifts I start in November as well. So this way, for me, the day after Thanksgiving is when I go crazy and decorate for Christmas and start getting really into the holiday spirit. But by that point, all of the tedious stuff is done and I can take my time to decorate and enjoy those normal holiday activities you would do. Oh, and I did forget to mention back in plan, like this month, I've actually already planned out like our Christmas dinner for me and my friends. I find it important because for me, my friends are both married. And so they have other obligations with families on both sides and different work events and stuff. And if we don't plan ahead of time, like this is the weekend we're getting together, we never would find a time. So we did plan and set our date for that. So that's taken care of ahead of time. And I do that in what I call my planning phase. But these are all the things that I do to kind of prepare and plan and prep to lead into the holidays. So that way I can get the most out of it and truly enjoy the season without feeling like there's so many, different tasks that have to be completed and work that has to be done. And I can just truly relax, enjoy, watch as many Christmas movies as I want, and eat cookies because they're all done, and decorate because that's fun. So these are kind of like my tips of how I plan and prep for the holidays. I really hope you enjoy. Hopefully you take something away from it that you can use. And as always, I hope everybody has a blessed day.